Hi, everybody. My name is Jason. I'm with the Yahuwah and the Torah channel, and I thank you guys very much for being a part of this reading. This has been an amazing reading. This has been an amazing book. The book that we are reading is the book of the Nazarene, or the book of Khalidi, and it is the last book in Yah Scriptures, which is available right now at yahscriptures.com. You can either get the book version if you'd like, or all the other formats are completely free. Everything that's not physical is completely free. There's eSword module. There's a Google Android app. There is a various ways of doing it. You have a PDF that you can use on any platform, and it's all free. And it's the exact same words that are in this scriptures right here. But if you would like to get a hard copy scriptures, for every scriptures that we're able to sell, we're able to get a scriptures into our brothers and sisters in chains. And right now, Yah Scriptures is on a mission, and we are going hard. We are working very hard right now, focusing on Texas. We're focusing on Texas right now because Texas is one of the states that is it's a killing state, right? It's an execution state. People get on death row, and Texas will kill you. That's the one thing about you doing crimes in Texas, and people that know that if you get nailed in Texas for some heinous crime, you will easily end up on death row. So we've been focusing on the death row, folks, and there's 177 of them slated for death in Texas alone. And so right now we have about maybe 15% of those covered. And so if there's anyone out there that is looking to minister, that has time to chit chat, that has any time in their lives to be a part of these brothers and sisters in chains, we have the guys on death row, and we also have all of the other people, and we have it all across the U.S. So if you're looking for brothers or sisters in the U.S. or you have any time at all, I have brothers out there who are typing machines. They love to type. They are Torah keepers. They love our Creator. They love His ways. They love His Son, our Messiah. And so these guys have done a lot of bad things, and it is something that, you know what? If they were being judged by the Torah, they wouldn't be stuck in cages for years and years and years. And so that's why we are living in a place that if they're not judging them by Torah, then these people are still able to be reached, and they are all very, very receptive. Everybody I've talked to that has replied back is very receptive and very nice. People, we have a lot of long conversations. Yesterday, I spent a good chunk of my day replying back. If I don't reply every single day, then I get really jammed up. And so my new goal and hopes is that I'm able to get back to them every single day. So I'm not getting a backlog, and these guys have the kind of support. And what I'm doing is I'm sending them scriptures out of Yah Scriptures. We're sending them hope. we remind them that the Creator of the universe loves them, and regardless of the darkness and where they are, and that we can't fix the past, but we can repent. Right? We can repent, and we can look to the future, and we can look to the kingdom. And if people are willing to obey the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator and have the faith of Messiah Yahushua, I don't find anywhere in scriptures that even those who have done completely horrible things will be doomed. So there is a world, and we have a Messiah, and so this is what we're reading today out of Yah's scriptures, is the words of Messiah Yahushua. And according to the book of John, Messiah Yahushua is the Word made flesh. And so what you're seeing right here, guys, you are seeing the Yah Scriptures Google app. It's available 100% free of charge. It is just an incredible app, and it has all 103 books of Yah Scriptures, and this is the same books right here that you will find in the same order in the book version of Yah Scriptures. And so everything should be in chronological order. And the last book that we're dealing with right here is the book of Khalidi. And so we are going right here, 8:17. Again, this is for those who do not know who the name of our Creator is. It is Yahushua, Yeshua. I've heard it in various different ways. There was no J's in Hebrew, and so we want to be as close to the proper name as we can. And what you can see in the very first line of this is our Messiah's name in Paleo Hebrew. Now, in the crowd which pressed around Yahushua was a woman who had suffered from bleeding for 12 years, whom no one had been able to cure. Coming up behind Yahushua, she prayed silently to herself and touched him on the back. At once, the woman began to feel comfortable and relieved. But Yahushua knew the healing power had been drawn from him in an unexpected outsurge. Turning to the Talmidim in the crowd who stood guard, he asked who had touched him. Kepha, who was there, said, "How can we know? The crowd presses so close we can hardly control them." So we have a woman, and this is back in the days. Doctors I don't think have ever been like tremendously amazing at their work, but this is even back further in the day when they were more archaic. And this woman had some issues, and one of these things, you have issues of bleeding for years. That's a big deal, right? And so there's when people are sick, people will do absolutely anything to get healed. They will they will go up behind Messiah, and they will when it's talking about, this is the exact same story that we have, and in the regular Besorah, it talks about this, and then it talks about where she touched him. It says touched him on the back in this particular translation or this particular version of this, but we do know from the rest of the Besorah that the touching, it may have been on the back, but it was also touching his tzitzits. And some of the other versions of it say tassels or something, or it is the tassels, but they will also say like the hem or the corner of his outfit, which one thing is that is a commandment that we all have, is that we are supposed to be wearing tzitzits, blue tassels that are on the four corner of us. Now, the Messiah, when he felt this, he goes around and he asks these guys, who did this? Who done it? But guys, we're talking about a very, very, very popular individual in Messiah Yahushua. This individual, our Messiah, he was so thronged with people at certain times, he had to have boats pull off of shore that people were all around. And when you have a spiritual celebrity like this, where people are being healed, the people are walking, the people that could never walk are walking, people who never seen are able to see, the dead come back to life, all of these things, Messiah is going to become so popular that he is absolutely not going to be able to move around. So it is kind of a crazy thing when he says, "Who touched me?" Because there's a zillion people touching him, to the point where he has to have his Talmidim hang around and almost be bodyguards to him. Continuing on, this woman, she hears Messiah, goes, "Who touched me?" Hearing this and fearful for what she had done, came forward and fell on her knees before Yahushua, confessing her guilt. He raised her up gently, saying, "My daughter, it is not the power in me alone, but your faith has opened a door whereby it poured out to effect a cure. Be at peace in your heart, for the complaint will trouble you no more." There's our doctor, right? There is a individual who is able to heal us in every way, shape, and form, and somebody who is not only our Melchizedek priest, but he is our healer. He is somebody who is, you could tell just from the way he talks that he's kind and he's compassionate and he's gentle. He lifts her up, right? He raises her gently up. This is our leader, and this is why he is absolutely worthy to be praised and absolutely worthy to be led. To be led by him is because he is the person that we should be. Going on, Yahushua needed a rest, and while doing so, a servant came bearing a message to the man whose daughter had been ill, telling him she had died. Yahushua, overhearing what was said, called the man to him and said, "Do not upset yourself. Just trust me and wait a while, and we will go together." Yahushua then bid the crowd remain where it was and went with the father and his servant, accompanied by 3 Talmidim. When they arrived at the man's house, mourners had already started the wailing of the laments, and Yahushua rebuked them for making such a noise when the girl was only sleeping, for he had sent his Ruach before him. The mourners said, "What kind of a fool is this?" Ordering them outside, Yahushua, accompanied by the parents and 2 Talmidim, entered the room where the child was lying. Taking her hand, Yahushua said, "Wake up, my little one." And after a little while, she gave a great breath. Later, opening her eyes, she smiled and soon got up. The parents were overcome, but when they recovered, Yahushua told them to keep their own counsel and attend to the child. And again, this is the same thing that we hear a lot in Messiah saying, "Don't tell anybody." Everybody always went and told everybody, because these are the kind of secrets that are almost impossible to keep. Now, continuing on, his Talmidim says this: when they had left, Jacob, one of the Talmidim, asked, "Why are some brought back to life and others not?" Yahushua answered, Did I not say this one only slept? There is a time appointed for dying, and the ruach of men keep their appointments. I work with the Torah of Kai, not against it. When they arrived back at the place where the crowd was gathered, there was a man lying in their midst, with a greatly swollen leg which had crippled him for many years. He said to Yahushua, Adonai, I have been a sinful man and have been punished. Yahushua said, Be of good heart, for your suffering has compensated your misdeeds. There's a lot to be said from a lot of this. You can hear a tremendous amount about the ways our Messiah thinks, about the way the Torah is, a way that our suffering can account for things that we have done. Right here, Messiah is talking, and he says clearly, your suffering has compensated for your misdeeds. And that's incredible, right? This is an understanding that our life is a test. Everything that we do is a test. Our Creator is going to put before us tests. And the people of our Creator are not going to be the weak in spirit. They're not going to be the ones who are wishy-washy, lukewarm. The people of our Creator are bold in the Torah. We are people that are the fishers of men of the kingdom to come. And unless we are out there fishing for men and doing the work of what our Messiah has said to do, which is to fish for men, and if we're not out there teaching people the Torah, we're not going to find the kingdom and the right path forward. There's a lot to be said when Messiah talks about the things that we encounter here on earth. And sometimes we end up being crippled for life. Sometimes we have disability. Sometimes we lose an eye. Sometimes we lose our hearing. Sometimes we lose our life. And every single moment that we have had breath, that is a blessing from our Creator. That is something that we need to be thankful for, that we have been selected by the Creator of the universe and been given a beautiful body that we can do as we wish and be functional. And so as we are seeking the ways of the kingdom and how our Messiah is, there's a lot we can learn from all of these books on this. One thing in 24 that I want to talk about is the ruach of men keep their appointments. And we're talking about the appointed time of dying. And it is one of these things that is, in scriptures, we have 120 years that we have been given for the appointment that we can figure life out. But when the time of accounting comes for all of us, there's nothing that's going to be able to save us. And we've been working with these little old people, and I guess when you get old, you get a different mentality, or you start fighting for life. But as I saw these old people who are both 90 years old that we have been working with for the last little bit fight for life and install electronics, pacemakers, and all these different devices. And I keep thinking, they're 90 years old, and the pacemaker, I guess people can live for 15 years or something with a pacemaker. But at a certain point, our bodies break down. It's a process of dying. And if we're hooking ourselves up to all these machines and all these things just to barely stay alive, I don't know if that's where we're supposed to be keeping our appointment. And at the same time, our Creator is going to take us when our Creator is going to take us, which is why we need to spend every last moment making sure that we are guarding our souls. And if we are not guarding our souls, if we're not every day reading scriptures, if we're not using Deuteronomy 6:4 as our entire guidepost for life, and understanding that everything we should be doing should be based in Torah. Everything that we look at, our attitudes, our life. And if we're not doing that, then we're absolutely not building the kingdom up. And it doesn't matter where we're at or what environment we are in, we can always do something that is profitable for the kingdom to come. And so be bold, my friends, be bold. All right, everybody, I think I will leave you with this. Thank you for hanging out with us, hanging out with me, and I will talk to you guys again. I'm out.